Let's have a talk. God to God. I'm Supreme, and this is Nate. Mindful Nate. You can check me out on Instagram, Lane Dalliance, Facebook, Scott Jarmon. And what are we doing here? We're having conversations. God to God. This is the God to God podcast because we realize that we are the gods.
We are the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Check Nate, Mindful Nate out on Instagram.
Yep. You guys can find me at Mindful Nate. Pretty easy. MINDFULL Nate.
And here you get a whole mindful of what we've been thinking and how we perceive the life that we're living here. Because there's only one perception, your perception, and your experience about what you've been doing here with the life you've been living. Mm-hmm.
Especially in these times, there's been a lot of people that are going through this sort of paradigm shift of being more self-reflective. The institutions that have been in place for years that were just thrown down our throats and people just accepted them as the truth are now being questioned by a lot of people. So we've been living this for a while, but it seems like a lot more people are now getting in tune with what's really real, what's really important, how much power we really have as individuals. And as Supreme was saying, it's realizing the God within yourself, how much control you really have. And hopefully with this podcast style talk, bringing together a community of like-minded people that are willing to maybe share their own experiences and reinforce some of the things that we've been kind of questioning, meaning those institutions that have been around for so long that just were able to get away with so much by people just accepting them without question. Now people are waking up, and it's tough when you're in the midst of waking up to find any resources of, am I just crazy? Am I really in line with the truth of what's going on? So we kind of want to use this as a way to reassure you you're not going crazy. It's not just you. There's a lot of people that have been waking up and questioning things that have just been taken as truths for a really long time.
Yeah, what does that mean, waking up? You waking up, like what are we waking up from? Like how does that suit you when you hear you waking up, right? It implies that we've been asleep. Sleeping what? You've been asleep. You go to sleep, you gotta wake up from something, right? You wake up and realize that you're in a dream right now. A crazy dream.
Crazy.
It's like one of those dreams that you can't control, but you always just feel like something is there. Something is happening here that we can't control it. Something else is controlling it. And wake up to that realization is that it's been us the whole time. It's really been us the whole time. You come and wake up into the reality, or you think about the American dream. You come here to America, you want to live that American dream, right? Or you wake up for the dream, it's like, I don't think I want to live this dream no more. So we get to change our channel and project ourselves to another dream that we can live in, starting with this dream right here. We always can change your circumstances, what you think, what you feel, what you believe, what you know is true about yourself and about this very reality that we live in. So what are these truths? What are your truths? What are our truths? Because the truth, they say, sometimes you can't handle the truth. And when you wake up, you're waking up to this truth that a lot of people can't handle. That's why I say, no, you're not going crazy. You're just waking up to what is really real. And let's go back to what is the truth. What is really the real and what is really the truth? Because once you wake up, you realize that, oh man, like these are just nothing but lies.
Mm-hmm.
Whole lies, straight lies, half lies in between. Dealing with the forked tongue. When you speak, right? Every time we speak, you could tell your truth to somebody. You could pour out your heart to somebody, and they still would misconstrue your truth because your truth is not their truth a lot of the times.
It
And
goes back to they're still asleep. So once you wake up and you're talking and having a communication with someone that's still asleep in the illusion of whatever the reality is for them, you could be speaking as clear as day. They're not going to get it. They're not going to understand.
you know, and sometimes they can't understand. They cannot understand because they are just they're still plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's always go back to this matrix type reality when you wake up, and it's like you gotta like move the cobwebs out. We gotta clean up the house. Really gotta clean up house when you realize what is the truth is. And like we were saying, our truth is very similar, but with minor details and minor specs that the other person, maybe your significant one, or maybe a close family member, or a really good friend, still might not understand. But the thing is, what we're doing here, we're planting that seed for when they do actually wake up. They see the seed that we plant, and the seed is germinating into a full-grown tree here. This full-grown tree is definitely gonna fruit. It's gonna fruit, and we are going to be able to eat this fruit, but when we're ready. When we're ready and when the fruit is also ready to be eaten. Because we don't want to eat no
Spoiled fruit, no rotten fruit,
no rotten fruit here.
We don't want to get stomach poison, whatever it's called. That is one of the probably toughest things to ever come across in life is finding just like-minded people, or because sometimes just talking about the planting a seed thing, you could throw your seed on anything. You could open your mouth and just talk and say, this is the truth. You could try to tell people, and there's nothing more frustrating when you are looked at as crazy and you just feel isolated. You can't connect with anybody. It seems like you have no community. You as the seed can't even get watered because you don't know where the water source is. You don't know who to go to cultivate you as a seed to grow up to your full potential. And there's a lot of misleading things too. Not everyone that's awake will give you good information. Sometimes maybe they're not in the right, maybe they're just ripening. They're not ripe enough yet to even talk to you about the truth in a way that could give you guidance or something to think about, thoughtful thoughts to have. And it's frustrating, but the best thing you could do is you got to be honest with yourself. So it starts from a place of honesty. If you wake up and then you're just reacting in a way that's from a place of fear, it's not going to do anyone any good. Because if you're scared and it's a truth you have, but you're scared because you don't want to feel isolated from, society, or what people that are still sleeping that think about this idea of an American dream in a romantic way, it can feel isolating. And the best thing we could do is have a community where people can just express their ideas, not feeling judged, but really trying to find out the truth of what's going on. And I've been seeing a lot. If you go on, your social media, there's a lot of people that are waking up to um, the realization that everything we've been taught, I mean, we talk about food all the time, just even gut health, doctors, hospitals, those kind of institutions that are made primarily to benefit off the sorrow and um, sickness of people and not educating them. Maybe they're not educated themselves, but they were taught by a system that has been there to keep people sick. And it's not their fault. They're just doing what they've been taught. But it's within our power and it's within our responsibility to get people back in line to nature, to things that are that are not a privilege, they're a right. Everybody needs the right to have health, access to good, clean food without chemicals, pesticides, and without a hidden agenda to keep people sick and hooked up to drugs, pharmaceuticals, big pharma, all that kind of stuff. And that's just one example. We can talk about politics, we can talk about even sports. What are sports? What is the point of sport? What is that? And when you start questioning things like that, you start realizing a lot of people don't even want you to talk about that. They don't want you to even question it. Why don't you just, go back to sleep? Stop with your overthinking all this. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. You'll be ostracized. You won't be invited anywhere. And just because I have a brain and just because that I'm operating on a frequency of truth and just because my frequency is above that from this low level conversation, that's not right. That is a tactic meant to keep the ones that are trying to get the truth message out silenced, and that's not right. That's not good. And this is just kind of like a small attempt at trying to foster a community where, and this community exists. There's still a lot of people around, without thinking that these people are hokey out there crazy or something like that, or conspiracy people, but really getting a community and making a space so that these conversations can happen. Because at the end of the day, it's all for the betterment of humans, us as humans, what we're trying to do, how we can live the best way and get back to a place where, regardless of what they're doing economically, we can always go back to having the control in our hands. And when you wake up, you realize you have more control in terms of what kind of lifestyle you want to lead. It doesn't have to be the thing that, that having those things is what success looks like. You go, what is success? Why did they tell me that I need that to be successful? Who told me that I need that to be happy? What is happiness? So having those questions really gets you going from operating on a 3D plane to go into the fourth and fifth dimensional planes. Is there a sixth dimension?
I'm sure there is, and it's all happening around us at every given moment.
Every time.
Speaking of space, right, where we all could come together and have these conversations and link with like-minded people and the people who have been awakened. Here we are right now at Arnold's Way Vegan Cafe, Lansdale, PA. Arnold's Way.
Arnold's Way.
Big shout out to Arnold. He been in the game for 35 years and definitely providing a space where you could come enjoy the most healthy food straight from the earth. Our slogan is God's garden, God's body, God's law. And for people who are really, when they first start waking up, like just as I did, we've come to find out like we have to change our diet.
You have to.
It's basically an essential thing. There is no way around it at all. And that's like one of the first phases of waking up here. And that's how I found this place. About 12 years ago, I was going through my awaken project here and just listen to different various people on the internet, YouTube.
And I'm sure back then there wasn't that much access to information.
This is 12 years ago. So you see the thing that we're talking about right now? It's always been happening. Always, since the 70s when they had like the hippies. That's what the hippies is basically doing. The hippies knew what we're talking about right now. Like how everything is just corrupt, the government, this and that. even before the hippies. Before the hippies. But the hippie was like one of the front runners in it, and it always had their generation from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You go to the 80s, that's when
Was that like
conscious hip hop started happening and everything like that.
yeah.
Who was some people? Who was that?
Was
What's their name?
KRS-One one of them?
KRS-One was one of them. If
Yeah.
you look at him right now, he's still
Oh,
on
he's
it,
still on his mission.
giving a whole bunch of game about the reality. Uh, man, I mean, so many.
Yeah,
Think
but
about that
even
one group.
I noticed that, but Yasin Bey and
Yeah, that's
Talib
most Def.
Kweli,
Yeah,
they
them.
had Black. Was it Black Star?
Black Star.
Black Star.
Yeah,
They all talked about Third Eye Awakening and all this kind of stuff, and
yeah. They. A lot of people always talk about it, but this type of thing, this type of talk is just not that addictive as the regular music, right? Because people, they don't get it yet. They don't have the ears for it. Let's say that like people can listen to this stuff. Some people do. Some people might just enjoy listening to like conscious music, more informative stuff that makes sense, but it's not addictive. So people more like they like to listen to the turn up music.
yeah,
But this revolution, this type of talk has always been going on, and right now it's like the next level of it. Here we are here. We got to make sure we do our part, wake the people up, even give them the good music. Like the podcast is like the form of music now because I mean, even though people still making music and music will never ever go away, but like this form of communication with the podcast and how we getting this information out, this is basically the new awakening stage for people that's coming into the information.
that's right.
For sure.
Man,
But yeah, we was talking about being here at Arnold's Way, changing your diet. It's like certain stages. When you waking up, it's stages of it. And
now let's talk about that a little bit because nobody tells you this, but when you are sick, and most people are sick, a lot of people have, especially stomach problems, gut problems, cognitive problems, so they can't focus, they can't think. They are living a kind of spur of the moment, not really conscious about what kind of food goes in their bodies, what kind of things they're looking at on TV, especially the music, what kind of music they're listening to. That's all a form of programming that is kind of designed to keep you asleep. So let's say if you have like a moment of creativity, that's usually when you're plugged off of all those stimulants that you've been looking at. So if you've been eating a bunch of junk or watching, whatever, things that you shouldn't be watching, or listening to music that just gets you riled up or in a different state or something like that, you're usually plugged out of those things, unplugging yourself from that matrix to then have to talk to your inner self to then get something creative out of you. Because the main thing that this does is when you do plug out, I know you talked about the food thing, we'll get to that, but there's another avenue that comes up, which is creativity. You need an outlet. It's like you have so much energy, you have so much clear thinking that you need some other thing to kind of take this and put it into another creative thing. Mm-hmm. But going back to the gut, do you think that it's because I was led to this in a roundabout way? You've been on it for 12 years. I'm literally I'm new. I'm like, what, almost a year, something like that. But I think you've seen a big transformation.
One of the biggest transformation here.
Yo, this in October 2024, I was 260 pounds, bad skin, balding, low self-esteem, low confidence. I was a mess. And, I started questioning things. Why am I like this? Why am I that? And, it led me to do this spiritual fast of water fasting. So I did that for 21 days. My outlook started changing. And then I just started meeting the right people. And it was...
Well, how'd you hear about water fasting? brought you
Oh,
to that?
I was doing research online, and I saw this one guy's story. He was a lot heavier than I was, but he was a big guy, and the doctors were telling him, you have diabetes, you have high blood pressure, you have this, you have that, and he's like, yeah, but I've been hearing about the benefits of fasting. You know what the doctor told him?
What?
Don't do it. You'll die. You can't do it. It's not healthy. This and that. So he did it. He did it for 50 days. He did it for 50 days, lost a whole bunch of weight. He didn't die. He went back to get his blood work. Everything was like in the normal range. And the doctors they had no words. They were like, I've never seen, and the one doctor was like, so all you did was drink water. He's like, yep, that's all I did. And all of his numbers went in line. They were fine. He looked great. Like he lost, you can tell he had more of life in his eyes. His skin was like clearer, everything. And why are they so quick to turn off things like that and not even spend the time to invest in the research for it, as opposed to just saying, no, don't do it. You need to have 3 meals a day. You need to be eating cereal with sugar in the morning. And you need to, it's like, why? Is that tied to some sort of consumerism? Is that tied to the companies making money off of cereal boxes sold for breakfast in the morning? Who knows? I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not pointing any fingers, but when you start seeing patterns and you start seeing who's really behind everything, that's what's going on. But because I'm new to this recently, um, and I came here in a roundabout way. I was taking some. I had a guy helping me out, work out and stuff, and he comes to Arnold's, and he was like, "Oh, you should check out Arnold's Way. They've got some great meals, this and that." And I was like, "What kind of place is this?" So even you probably remember when I first used to come here. I was all like, I would keep my head down. I'd be like that one dude. He come in here. It's like, "How you doing?" I'm all right.
That's
But we
it.
love you, man. No hate, no disrespect. And but slowly I realized this is probably the most um, unapologetically unpresumptuous. Like there's no presumption here. This is how they are. They're as real as they get. They know who they are. They're not here to try to sell their product. They know that it works. It's guaranteed. They've got plenty of people that talk good about them. They never ask people to talk good about them. And Arnold is an interesting guy. And he's 78 years old, but he's got energy. It's like radiates off of him. And he's a lot to handle when you first meet him. When you're just like, whoa, what's going on? How old are you? What? And he's just all over the place. But his wealth of knowledge is something that you can tell he's not BSing. And it was just refreshing. But then just to go back to the gut thing, so then when you do wake up, you do realize the importance of what you are putting in your flesh, your avatar,
Your vessel,
your
your
vessel.
car, because we got to realize that
Yep.
this thing that we in right now is the house, and we are hosting the house. This thing that we in right now is the highest form of technology that there is, and we have no idea how to operate it. So basically, everybody just turned off right now from what's been going on the earth. Everything that's been happening here is such on a very low, negative,
Mm.
far left, distorted reality that we have no idea what's happening. Thus, we are projecting it out of ourselves and projecting it into ourselves. Just
Mm.
a very slow program, right? And dealing with the gut is basically not the engine, but if you look at it as a car where the exhaust comes from, your exhaust backed up. We got all this filth and gunk stuck in the exhaust. What you think a car gonna do? It's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna work very effective, right?
No.
So we got all these humans here, right? That's plugging up their cars, making it very dense, making it very hard to turn on, making it very hard to go because what we're putting in it, we are putting very dense food into this vessel of light, which requires more lighter dense food to make it run effective and efficiently. So What I mean by dense food is a lot of meat every day, cheese, just processed artificial carbonated stuff. That's like very dense material that we are putting in our body. We wouldn't even call it food. So we putting that in the body and it's making it very slow, very sluggish. And we've been doing this for the last, how long you been alive? 30, 40, 50, however old you are, and you still along with the sad diet. They call it a sad diet because you eat that diet, most likely you're going to be sad, you're going to be fake, and you're not going to know what's going on because it's clogging up all of our lenses to our bodies, is fogging up our lens. We got a dirty lens, so we can't even see properly.
Ooh. How about it calcifies?
Calcify, and that's where the mucoid plaque come in.
There you go.
When mucoid plaque is cold, like you can see it when you see it. Once you eat something, that's when the plaque starts. It's gonna start from right here, coming all the way down here. That's why we gotta brush our teeth every day so we get rid of that plaque. But we had to also do that with our internal organs because as we see with our teeth where the plaque is, it's all happening down here and it's building up, building up, building up. And this plaque hardens and calcifies, right? And we got to look at the body as an instrument. When I say instrument, is like your heart is beating, it's playing the tone.
Well, how about even when you talk?
When you talk, the mantras, like we hear you because, oh man.
I got you going.
Oh man, right? So we got organs and they're all playing a specific vibration. And dealing with the colon and intestines in general, we got all that plaque down there and it's not playing no tones. It's not ringing because it's all just filled up with hardness, gunk, and making our body work that much harder. I mean, we're on overload right now. Everybody, 98% of the world is on total overload that we're going crazy. And we're just developing all of these diseases. We're developing all of these just mental problems and all from one problem that we do multiple times a day. One of the main problems is putting gunk into the black hole. Your mouth is basically a black hole, and it could take a lot. Your body could take a lot, and it want to help us. It want to help us thrive, but we're, for some reason, and we know this reason why, that we're doing the wrong thing, or the negative thing, or the disagreeable thing to ourselves, because the people know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
These doctors,
Oh.
the ones who run the world, they realize that the humans are the money. We are the real the currency that's making this whole projection happen. Right? So they gotta kind of keep us at a low frequency. They gotta keep us at a low frequency.
It's a sleep state. So what do? They'll throw distractions. You know, it's when it's Supreme and I, every time we talk, do you think we're talking about who won the last basketball game? Do you think we even watch that? Do you think we care about football? No, what we talk about is how our workouts are going, meaning how we're moving our bodies. We talk about these things that we've been talking about for a while now.
How we gonna save the world?
Yeah, and those talk. It's really hard to find somebody that's not so asleep that all they care about is material things or stuff that's in fad. Like, yo, did you hear this guy got traded to that team? What do I care?
Sports is fake news, by the way.
Like, what do I care about that? What, people are dying out here. People are sick. People don't realize that they're killing themselves by ingesting this food. By the way, the food that is available to us, that's good for us, that gives you a nice activated gut and regulates everything, is the same availability as the ones that are terrible and toxic for you. But why is it that they make a bigger deal to advertise for the things that are bad for you, but they never advertise the stuff that's good for you? Why is that? Think about it. Clearly they want you to go for that toxic stuff and put your hard-earned dollars, and money is tight for a lot of people now. And why are we spending so much money on the stuff that's bad for us when the stuff that's good for you sometimes is a lot cheaper, a lot cheaper,
Way cheaper.
way cheaper, and could last for a longer time. And it's about just being educated. But this low vibrational thinking of, now I'm not trying to say watching sports or whatever is bad, but when that becomes your identity of, you're now what you're doing is you're already living life with this avatar. But what you've done is you're living life in an avatar while you watch another guy in another avatar live out his dream. So that guy who's playing professional sports has gone to the highest plane of realizing his potential in terms of what the avatar can do that he's in. But why are you, as a person in one avatar, just expending all your energy to cheer on someone else that's already doing what they're, does that make sense?
Make plenty of sense.
Because it makes no sense. Because wouldn't you want your avatar in whatever profession you're doing to be so fine-tuned that you are the best at it, and people are the ones that maybe are still asleep or whatever cheer for you? Think about that. Think about why you're spending so much time caring about other people's lives and disregarding your own health and well-being. It doesn't make any sense if you really think about it. And the other thing is, so back to the gut, there's this thing called parasites that we get from eating that toxic food. And when you get cravings for sugar, when you get cravings for that stuff, it's not you. It's those parasites that don't want to die. So anytime you're getting hungry and you feel those pangs, those are the parasites dying. And they don't want to die, so they want you to keep eating that stuff that they'll feed off of. And so that's why it's important, once you get awakened, one, you start wanting to consume all this stuff, meaning the information. You just want to find it all out. And the good thing, one of the best things to do is find a community to be involved with. And then the other thing is, as Supreme said, is the gut health. It's about, you start questioning everything you start eating. You can't even help it. It just comes out. You're like, I used to go to this place all the time. It could be, name them, any of the fast food stuff. But then once you stop, once you awaken up, you go, I don't want to eat that. You can't even force yourself to eat. Like, you just can't go back. Now, I'm not saying you don't slip up here and there, but you just can't. And then the third thing that happens is you start realizing that it's these parasites that need to come out. I came to that realization by myself. We never really talked about it. I would bring it up to you. I would come up and I'd say, hey, what's this about parasites? I think I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I did was, because I found someone that had the knowledge, thank God, by the way, man, I'm so happy for this place. But I found someone that had the knowledge to then say, you know what? I got something for you. And he said it in a way like he was expecting me to ask one of these days, because he was like, I got something for you. And I was like, okay. I was a little scared. I'm not going to lie. I was a little like, I don't know, And, he said, you got to detox. And, it's not about this, because we are all addicts to this food, that bad food. So when people think about detox, they always think about, you had a drug problem, you had an alcohol problem, how about a food problem, bitch?
That's the drugs, the food.
I'm
drugs.
Sorry to say that word, but I was just trying to, hammer it home, because that food is really addicting, and you do need to detox from it. And guess what? It's going to be a spiritual thing, because once those parasites start leaving your body, I was dreaming things. I was having reflections. I was forgiving myself for past mistakes. I started feeling more gratitude just about the awareness that I got to. And that all came from clearing the gut. That came from, it's just amazing.
Because it's a brain, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Your gut is a brain.
There's a heartbeat down there. It pulses. It's not just your heart. There's a pulse that comes from your abdominal. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Right, right. And we hold so much memory, so much trauma, just so much gunk down there. He did the colon cleanse. I made it for him. I had a couple of people up, more people doing it. But once we can clear and get that gear, let's look at your organs as gears. You got this real big gear down here. It's where the fire burns. One might call it hell. If you're looking at hell and heaven within the body, because that's my other slogan, all is self. There's nothing outside of yourself. Everything is within you. And once we can clear that up, man, we really can see God. That's why we having this God to God podcast right now, because we coming to the realization that's what we are. But the gut, once this gear start turning, all the other mechanisms in your body, all the other organs in your body, back up to heaven, where the Christ is, you raise that energy, you get to turn on, you resurrect your own energy. That's what we're doing here. This is the resurrection stage of ourselves. And once we get to know that, the reality changes. The reality
Life
changes. Like
changes.
we're going up the ladder here. We're going up the scales. Like we always saying, like we can't turn back. Like we cannot run away from our supreme righteousness, destiny of love here. Like
Wow.
this have been allotted to us. This is basically our inheritance for what we're going through here. Like we have to inherit the kingdom right now by fixing our bodies, because the body is taking the most damage out of all of the states that we're in. The spiritual state still that's still in good shape. Your mental state, a lot of people got to work on it. A lot of people. Physical state, which is the body, feel like that once we start terrain modification, your body, you got to start from the ground up. Start from the ground up, all the other states is going to work that much better. We have to cleanse the body, starting with the colon, the blood, in the right order too, because you don't want to be cleansing yourself and moving stuff from the lungs down to the gallbladder and stuff from the spleen back up to the heart, stuff like that. So we have to go in correct order in cleansing this vessel. So if you need help with that, make sure you get with me. Scott Jarmon on Facebook, Lansdalians on Instagram. And that's not the only thing that I do. Man, this is a complete overhaul of life here. We cleansing the body, we changing the diet, we working out, we meditating, and we learning to grow our own food. This is like the 5 finger of life grasp here. Like we gotta grasp what we think we know about this reality, because they say the truth is stranger than fiction. What we think that we know
You
is just
know,
a
but you're
speck.
acting like you don't know.
What's the other line? You know, it's fun for show. Seriously, man. And we do know. At one point, we did know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The older generation, they knew. They had things. They had mixtures for different coughs, things like that. They would make from natural ingredients. They knew how to concoct things, put them in mason jars, let them ferment, take them. That would help with different ailments. And a lot of people will look at that and say, "Oh, that is like what is that hokey stuff? That's like hocus pocus. That's
voodoo.
That is a placebo. That doesn't work. This and that." It works, and they've been doing it for hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of years since the beginning. And what we've done is we've taken the link between the natural, and in modern times we've severed ties with it. So anything natural always gets looked on with skeptical things, but anytime it's new technology, we can't wait to get it. Anytime something new with tech comes out, everybody's hopping on it. But you go back to the old days and you bring up things that always work to cure different ailments, to get people living right, to get it's always looked down. It's like, does it really work? And then you see somebody like me that lost like 100 pounds, and then they don't believe it. People ask me, "What'd you do?" I tell them. They don't believe me.
You did what?
I was talking to someone the other day.
You
I
just
told
changed your
them
diet?
I she was looking at me like I don't believe you. You were not 260. You no, I don't believe it. Bitch. I'm sorry to use that. I'm not really a swear, but sometimes you got to use it just to emphasize a point because she was demeaning me and making it seem like all the work and time invested was for nothing.
You're a liar.
Like, you're a liar. I don't believe you. No, no, no. Okay, you know what? Leave whatever you want, but you know what? I can't be mad because she's just, again, some people are just going to be asleep longer. It's going to take them a longer time to wake up. And then when she does, she'll realize, oh, yeah, he wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this stuff works. It's very good. Kind of reminds me of that movie. What was it? Wall-E. Remember Wall-E?
Yeah.
He was stuck on Earth, and then all the people were just up in space with their fat sitting on the things or whatever. And then they came back to Earth, and remember the post-credit scenes, which was they just started an agrarian society again, planting trees, moving their bodies, eating right. It's there. Snap for shot. If you watch that movie again, you look at the end. They show you the after effects of when they came back to Earth. And it was Wall-E because he saw the one plant grow, and that's what his mission was, to go up and get people back. But they were so used to their ways, and they created systems to keep people asleep. So you guys can't be mobile anymore. Well, we'll just create these things that'll just move you from here to here to here. Oh yeah, don't think about what you're gonna eat. We'll just give you this stuff. Doesn't matter if it tastes good, whatever. Who cares? We'll make it taste however you want.
And that's like the mind of a parasite right there.
Man, thank you.
That's what a parasite does.
Think about this. Dracula, right? I think Dracula, if anyone knows this story, Dracula, he would suck the blood. What was his number one, what do you call it? Thing that he didn't like?
Silver, right?
Silver, but what was the other one?
Dracula. Like a wooden dagger or something like that?
Yeah, but food-wise.
Garlic.
Garlic. What does garlic do if you take it?
Kill parasites.
There you go. So we have demons inside us. We have these parasites inside us that block us from really thinking clearly. And it's about the calcifying thing, about different chains being blocked. We'll talk about that more later on, but once you really start seeing the connections between, you'll never be the same again. You'll start reading books, you'll start watching shows or even movies and stuff, and you'll be like, what do they really mean by this? What are they really trying to say? And there are some hidden gems. I can't think of any other references right now, but there are a lot out there of movies that talk about when someone's waking up or this and that, and then you just go, I mean, the big one is The Matrix, but there's other out there. You're just like, oh, is that what they're talking about here? And then you just start going, huh, okay, I see. But
yeah, shout out to Philadelphia Apothecary. That's our stuff in the background here.
Oh yeah, Dave.
Yeah, you look in the background, we got all the herbs here.
He's got a tea stand.
Tea stand, this at Arnold's Way, The apothecary, different herbs here. Let's show it real fast. You got the black tea, mullein leaf, chamomile, ginger mint, lemon balm. So everything that you need to start your health journey. Back here, we got a tea bar. We also got, man, if you want to start growing your own food, we got torpedo pots as well. Torpedo pots, self-growing, self-watering planters. You don't need a green thumb for this. And, we just got to help society. We got to help society. We got to help them detox. We got to give them another point of perception here. Our perception had to change of life, about ourselves, right? And basically, we are parasites too, right? The humans are acting as parasites because of what they're doing to themselves and yet the earth, right? Remember when the pandemic happened and we basically got shut down, couldn't leave our house and this and that? Very limited. That's the cleanest the earth has ever been.
Yep.
The cleanest.
And it was just fixing itself.
Just fixing itself.
Filtering out waters. Fish were returning to lakes and streams that haven't been there for years. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, what was it, above China or Hong Kong or something like that? The smog was like gone. So all that pollution that was in the sky was just gone.
And what was that? Maybe, I forget how long. Like it was like the actual lockdown when you couldn't go nowhere. But you know, the proof is in the pudding. You see that, and just look at the humans. Like, all right. And then you got this climate thing. It's like, okay, we must be messing up the ecosystem. Like, you got every type of animal and insect. Like, they know exactly what to do. But when it comes to us, we're going totally against what nature is doing. And that's the parasite mindset right there. Like, we're not working with nature. Like, what are we doing here? So if we're going to go against the grain and go completely opposite, no wonder while we're in this situation. It's a totally messed up situation. And
yeah, because think about it. The main thing that a lot of things that are going on right now, it's all about dividing people. It's about this group versus that group. It's about this person against that person.
This religion versus that religion.
My goodness. And it's just like, we get it. There's differences of opinion. But how about the frequency of love? What happened to that? What happened to sitting down and saying, you know what? I don't agree with you. I might, you know what I mean? Like, I might live my life a little differently, but I still can see you and value you as a human. And there was like always this like pulse of love, a frequency of love. And that's kind of going away. But you know what I'm saying? We're about to get one of the biggest shocks right now. Who's coming right now? Who's that I see up in the distance?
Big Arnaldo himself. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, you guys are in for a treat. Just wait.
Number one podcast. We at Arnold's Way Vegan Cafe right now.
God to God podcast. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
What's up, man?
Mr. Arnold.
There he is.
Come on here, man. Come on here.
What'd you say?
There you go. This is about frequency of alignment. We didn't plan that.
Right.
So we've just been going over
a whole bunch of everything.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of everything. But
that's good.
Yeah, this the owner of Arnold's Way Vegan Cafe up in Lansdale right here.
This is a legend.
Yeah, one of the legends, one of the innovators in the game. We at his shop. Also my roommate too.
Yeah, housemate. So
Yeah.
we're being filmed on Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
And can you come from about 3 to 6, I guess?
Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah, we got a film crew that that come see Arnold, and man, he's been such a big inspiration to countless of people who come here.
How many people?
And these guys wanted to make a movie about him, make a movie about his life, make a movie about the movement overall, you know, because like what we're doing here is, we've been doing it such a long time, but right now it's just such a big opportunity for a lot of people right now, especially me. I'm like, we got such huge opportunities just to help people, to spread the knowledge, spread the wealth of what we're doing here. And that's basically what we want to do. And
That's
Arnold,
good.
yeah, Arnold been doing it for such a long time, man. And I got to catch up to him.
I just got to take a picture of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's a talker. I'm the walker. He's a talker. I'm the walker. I give you 5 minutes. He gives you an hour. That's a big difference.
No, we got a big garden at the house, you know. over 40 fruit trees, right? 200 raised beds in a very small area. And we grow a lot of our own food here. You know, I'm one of the chefs as well. And we got plenty of food plans for everybody to come and enjoy. You know, we're doing raw food here. So what we've been talking about the whole time is just changing the diet and turning the body back on. And there's one of the pioneers right here. One of the pioneers. And
Man.
yeah, definitely thankful, you know, to have this environment, because we talking about, all right, we need the environment for people to come.
It's the community.
A community, yeah.
For education.
I love it.
This is
So
a one-stop
We're giving
place.
classes. We're giving classes, I would say, next week.
Yeah.
No, 2 weeks.
I'm about to make a
2
poster
weeks.
about it.
I told you three sets.
Okay.
So I was thinking $40 a class, 3 for 100. If you sign up early, maybe 25.
Yeah.
25, 75.
Right, yeah. And these
I
classes,
like that.
I like that a
I
lot.
like it a lot.
I like that a lot.
You're the main man. I'm your backup.
Uh-huh.
He's the main because he knows how to do
I'm
it.
just the customer.
And what are we going to be doing, right?
So we're doing easy. We're also going to focus on some of your skills, some of my skills. I think yours is the breathing, maybe some mini exercises.
Uh-huh.
4 classes, mine will be the self-massage, maybe 1 or 2 exercises. You'll do the main thing. I think we're going to have it maybe over there, right? Table.
Yeah, we can have it. Yeah, this whole section right here.
Yeah. We said 10, 15 people, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Go. That's what I thought they. Dinner soups, one class. Smoothies. Smoothie shakes, I don't know. Then the last one, desserts.
Yeah.
And the 2, 3 of each.
I think we can make
What do you think about that?
it's going to be a few hours.
But it's
2 hours
okay.
for
I mean, hey,
everything.
2
that
hours.
could be
2 hours.
figured.
You don't want
That could
too
be
long. You
figured.
know, 7 to 9, boom, boom, boom. Not to do by 9, not to 10. All that. I mean, that's too much.
But let's get back to the main because this weekend,
Yeah.
talk offline,
Talk offline.
off the podcast. I want to get back to talking about the gut community.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold showed up. Arnold, why don't you talk for a little bit on
Got
God's plan, your mission, your how many people you've helped? What do you think is sparking this kind of shift that's happening now? Why are so many people
I don't
getting
see.
more
I don't
mindful?
see. To be perfectly honest, I don't see the shift happen. I think we're mesmerized by the food we eat, and that's really hard to get out of. I mean, you walk down the street, boom, 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 restaurant after restaurant after restaurant. Is in the cooked food agenda, and once you're in that cooked food agenda, it's really hard to break off that shift. I think you need I personally think you have to grow your own food. So you got to grow your own food. I mean, you walk, knowing what I know, our prices are $4, right?
Mm-hmm.
We should be packed.
Yeah, I know.
We should be packed to the max. Packed to the max. It's not happening. People are they're just
Addicted, still asleep.
Addicted to cooked food. And I think the only way you snap out, I push God at the ultimate source. I talk to God all the time. This week we're going to see at least 1,500 people this week. We have Pastor Greensman's homeless on Sunday, Saturday, 7-day Adventist. We always have the men's group in the morning. That's what I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to get it over and over. And you got to show just what you're doing now. There are 3 people, spread the word. You got to find someone who's onto it. Onto it, and then it's relentless. You got to be relentless in your speech, always.
Yeah.
Relentless. I know Chinese medicine makes a big difference in me,
Mm-hmm.
which means someone goes like this on morning, someone goes like this. Your body's always talking to you. Most people do not listen to the language. When you're sick, it's actually a good thing. People are sick. They're sick because they're not in God's food. They have cancer because they're not in God's food. They have diabetes. We have a guy with diabetes, 20 years. Guess what happened?
He died? What?
James.
Oh.
Oh
okay.
yeah, James.
Yeah, what he do? He
Just ate watermelon.
Man,
Just
he
watermelon.
reversed the whole thing. He's got. We'll
Hear
have
that?
him. We'll have him as a
So
guest
all
one
these
day.
things, you
Mhm.
got to eat God's food as a secret. Because what it is, all these wars, they don't want to kill each other. They're just trading death. You know what I mean? They're trading eating death. That saves you some 100 hours per meal. You're eating God's food. In and out clears the body. Body wants instead of love.
And I'll say, talking about them and just talking about gut. our intestines are so long.
22 feet.
It's not meant to take meat and just have it there to die. It just can't in a timely manner.
By the way, vibrational plate.
I got to try that.
You know what that does?
It shakes the gut up.
Shakes the gut and pushes everything. I got young man myself 3 to 5 shits a day. As soon as I use that vibration plate, boom, it goes up like a steam shot. Push it out. Pushes it out. Most people just, no, I shouldn't. Once a day, maybe once every 2 days, once every 3 days. And then once you have that mind, you have that clarity, your mind becomes clear of what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what I came here today?
What?
Get Jeremy 2 watermelons.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's his grandson.
Yeah, but if you start looking at it, if you look at that, we can't eat like the animals because they're built differently. They have a different intestinal tract than we do. I think meat eaters and predators have a really short intestine.
Yeah, I think our intestinal tract is 28 feet.
That's
5 feet large intestine, 22 small intestine.
how many city blocks is that? That's pretty long.
Not only that,
Yeah.
22 feet.
Yeah, that's what,
the large intestine divided
1 or 2?
28 feet. As long as it's
Oh,
full.
Yeah,
never
not a
mind.
city
I guess
block.
it's not
As
blocked.
long as it's full.
My bad. Sorry, I'm dumb.
No, but it's a huge deal, though. A very huge deal.
I tell him that. I said my old son record was 7. I say, it comes in like freaking new.
I gotta start doing it along with him, for real.
But we're gonna keep doing this podcast, God to God podcast,
Ready?
Mhm.
and
Yeah. See this? He went like this. Stomach, small intestine, large intestine.
so his body naturally reacted to his topics. You know what's funny? I had a feeling of touching my face, and I was like, "Do not touch your face." You know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I watched somebody watch a video go like this, go like this, go like this, and everything. Your body's always talking to you.
Man, what about this right here? I've been rubbing
My
my.
stomach's 36.
Dang it, you're right. No, I don't know.
This stomach 36.
Anyway, but we're gonna keep consistent with this podcast.
I love it.
We're gonna do it out of the shop. If that's all right.
That's fine.
That's cool.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but
Arnold's
audience-
Way. This is what
People
Drescher
here.
Arcade in downtown Lansdale, and this is Supreme. I'm Mindful Nate. This is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Arnold.
Yeah. I
And
came here by accident.
this is great. Yeah, we were talking about you, and you showed up. See how that works? It's amazing. But we're gonna keep it going. We'll have some guests in.
Yeah.
We'll have
One second.
maybe we'll have
One second.
Dave here from Philadelphia Apothecary. I want to get Richard Rogers, who's just, I had one of the best conversations with him. So we'll get different.
Right now we're at a podcast.
We'll get different guests to come, and we'll try to spread the message as best we can. And it's going to be honest. It's going to be about love. It's going to be about making sure that you can be the healthiest version of yourself, and return you back to what your original created state should be.
Original
You have a
form.
Monday, right?
Original form.
Yo, we're gonna have a Monday and just throughout the day too, so we could catch people coming in and out. Some live podcasts too, some just like live talks, and just like recorded ones in the daytime with this whole thing popping.
And we'll be doing different events. Like I said, Supreme knows a lot. It's not just about the detoxes. It's not just about
maybe
the
go to the garden
parasites.
too on Wednesday too. Can you go to the garden?
I'll be
Well,
here.
we're doing the gardening, the gardens, and then fitness. So exactly, sometimes you don't need to go to the gym and lift heavy and get buff and swole. Sometimes your body weight is just enough. Calisthenics, stretches,
Live
and
with Nate
what's
Supreme.
the best thing to do?
Monday? Breathing.
Breathing. That's right.
That breath work.
Breathing, breath work, getting that. But tune in. We'll be around. We'll see what format we're gonna distribute this on, but we'll be doing lives. But we'll put our handles at the bottom, and we'll have comments open. So if you have questions, if you just like what we've got to say, if any of this resonates with you, feel free to share. And tune in next time. God to God.
God to
That's
God.
a wrap.
I was thinking all day today.